Hi everyone. Today's video is a little bit of a different one for me. I know a lot of YouTubers go off and do this, and I'm probably doing it for a similar reason, but I'm modifying my car. I've bought an exhaust for my Golf GTI. Now I know many YouTubers have done this. Why am I doing it? Well, first of all, I am a little bit of a car nut. I love driving, and I think driving is still quite emotive. And there's a big part of that is the sound of vehicles, modern vehicles like the Tesla and my wife's car. They've got amazing performance, but they're a little bit like an appliance. They're quite dull, and I think the sound of a vehicle is a big part of that passion of driving. It's not necessarily the speed, the sound makes it a lot more enjoyable experience, and modern cars are dulling down these sounds. Now I haven't got anything that's too mad. I haven't got an exhaust that's going to be, you know, waking up all the neighbours as soon as I start it, but it has got a little bit more note. I've gone for a Milltek system. They're made in the UK. They're stainless steel, they're a little bit lighter, there's no performance gains, but it's going to give that extra little bit of sound. And I'm coming over to a place called Awesome GTI. Now I've chose Awesome because they specialise obviously in the GTIs. This is not a sponsored advert. I've paid for this system and I'm paying for the installation, but I'm going to document it. I'm also going to go through a couple of the things which make it legal, and it's still going to be totally fine for the MOT. Now, before you go off and do this, it's really important to check a couple of things. First of all, check with your insurance. I have checked with my insurance, although I am going to ring them when the exhaust is fitted to let them know, but I have checked with the insurance and there's no added cost for this modification, which is nice. Anything that you do to your car, it is really important that you do check. Even a set of wheels, I would always say, tell your insurance, because if you have a collision, you have an accident, honestly, you don't want to be caught short. The other thing is check that it's not going to affect your warranty. I've still had a couple of problems, even though I have done a video with this car saying it's fixed. It's not totally. I've still got a couple of little things that I'm having issues, but I'm working closely with Rex and Volkswagen, where I bought the car from. They've been really good. They're doing everything they can to sort it out, and we're getting there. It just might be a little bit more of a long drawn out process than I'd hoped for, but we're getting there. But I've checked with Rex and Volkswagen as well, and it doesn't affect the warranty. So we're all good to go. Now we're nearly here, so I will get cracking on, and what we will do is pick it up when we get there.
Awesome don't just do exhausts, they also do plenty of performance parts for all of the Volkswagen Audi group. And it wasn't long before Greg, my fitter, was reversing my Golf into the garage. Notice we can't hear much from the exhaust.
So this is the standard exhaust. As you can see, we've got the silver tips, but we've gone for black on the Milltek system.
This part of the exhaust is the OPF filter, and it's from this towards the back of the car that we're replacing. Removing these can affect the running of your engine. It could cause warning lights to come up on your dashboard, and it may affect your warranty, so I'm leaving it in place. Then Greg starts unbolting the old system, and it's not long before he requires something to hold the old exhaust, because they're quite heavy. And as you can see, this is partly a two-man job. But quite soon, without drama, the old exhaust is off the GTI. The first part to go back on is a connecting pipe. This allows the fitment of the larger diameter new exhaust. And then it's just a case of adding the new system piece by piece. And as you can see, it does come in manageable sections. And here comes the nice shiny new back box. And even when that's on, there's still plenty left to do. All the joints have got to be sealed and tightened, and you've got to make sure it's not hitting the bodywork anywhere. And then it was time to start fitting the rear tailpipes. As I said, I went for the black, and it seems to just tie in quite nicely in my opinion. What I would also like to say is Greg took loads of care at this stage to make sure everything was lined up perfectly.
So we're all done. It looks nice and tidy. Black tips look well. So we've got quite a big silencer at the back, but then it's we trace it back down to the front where it was. That silencer's been removed. The process has taken a little over an hour. There was a couple of struggles getting a couple of the hangers off the old exhaust, but awesome GTI have done an awesome job. So first start up, let's see what difference it's made. Sounds good. It's not too OTT, it's not going to be annoying the neighbours, and I think driving examiners when it goes on driving tests. Perfect.
And after a small test drive, the car was all okay.
Give it some revs, Greg. Love it. So all sorted, all done. For me, that does make a little bit of a difference. It's not so harsh that I'm going to be annoying driving examiners and all my neighbours. But I haven't driven it yet, but I'm sure it's going to make a difference on the roads. I'm going to get home, I'm going to have a little look to see what it's like on the motorway. I don't expect it to be too drony, but we'll double check it. Yeah, you can tell a difference, but thankfully it's not too harsh. I think I've made the right decision. Now, let me know what you think in the comments. Have you also ever modified your car? What have you done to it? All I would advise, though, like I said in the intro a little bit earlier on, always tell your insurance, don't ever take that risk. Do things properly and enjoy your motor. That's getting lost on us nowadays, to be honest, the enjoyment of the cars with all these appliances that are now coming to the market. Keep safe, everyone. I'll see you soon.